cemetery, like so many historically black cemeteries, went through a period of decline where it wasn't being taken care of.
There is a number of significant people that are buried there.
We're trying to tell the story of these places that have been neglected.
The Woodland Cemetery Foundation, they've been working in their cemetery for a number of years, and they feel that it is significant enough to have a state marker placed on the property. So they reached out to me to see if students from the community would be interested in helping to create that marker.
So from there, we reached out to the 2 middle schools that were closest and started our work.
There are graves all through those woods. In fact, this section over here.
We rode out with the students and the department leaders to Woodland Cemetery, where we met with both our Henrico County Parks and Rec folks who are helping us with the historic marker piece, but also with this really awesome, dedicated group of volunteers.
It was a lot of fun. We got to see a lot of graves and how they renovated the place.
Very historic black cemetery, and they have a lot of historical people buried there. There's Arthur Ashe and John Jasper, who's a preacher.
He was the founder of Six Mount Zion Church here in Richmond. So here we are at the grave of Arthur Ashe. Died in 1993. He wanted to be buried here because his mother was there. He wanted to be buried beside his mother.
I think it's really interesting because there were people there that I never actually heard about, and it's very interesting to hear what they did and everything.
Charles Russell, he was a prominent architect here in Richmond.
Today, we're really just about getting some drafts of what we think might work as a marker down.
So when we left the cemetery, we went to a place to discuss what we learned.
When we went to the working session, that was the icing on the cake. They knew what they were doing, they were ready, they were just excited to work, and they did.
Don't bury there, some of them.
Oh, primary sources, right?
Oh, you should, make reference.
Oh, good point. That's a good rule.
The application process will include the basic information. What topic do you want to cover? What is the research? What are the primary resources that you use? And most importantly, what is the text that you want on the marker?
You're limited in the number of words you can use, so you have to think about what matters the most. So we walked through that here as a group. We even looked at other historic markers from other historic cemeteries in the area.
It lists a lot of important people who are buried there.
Good, what else? Yeah.
It was a historical place in 2000.
I think they enjoyed it, and I think they got a really good chance to see how the skills we use in history class actually apply to historical projects in the community. Researching, finding your key information, having the sources to back things up.
What I love most, the fact that they're students and they'll have an opportunity to have something that lives on in perpetuity is just, that's amazing. They'll be able to ride past that with their kids maybe one day and say, hey, I had a hand in that highway marker. And just the history there is so rich. So just giving them an opportunity to learn something that they won't soon forget.